everybody, I'm Kimberly Turner from cookingwithkimberly.com, and today Mom and I are going to show you chocolate chip shortbread cookies special for Valentine's Day.
That's right.
That's right, this is Mom's idea. So we are doing some special treats for our Valentines.
That's right.
And this is how we're gonna rock this. Let's go, Mommy.
Okay. I put a half a cup each of icing sugar or confectioner sugar and of white sugar into the bowl. Next goes 3/4 of a cup of butter, unsalted preferably. If you don't have unsalted, then don't add salt. If you have unsalted butter, then you'll have to add about 1/4 teaspoon of salt.
Now this is room temperature butter?
Yes, actually it's a little cooler than I would prefer, but that's okay. I'm going to mix it up.
It's cold here in Canada. Very, very cold right now.
Okay, and
I'll take that.
I need that knife, I think. Also, I chopped the chocolate chips up just a little bit smaller than what came in the bag.
A little bit more dainty-like.
Yes.
It's hard to find those mini chocolate chips all the time.
That's right. And I look for them because when I get them, I usually buy a huge bag because they're not the easiest thing to get.
I know you put it on our list all the time.
Yeah.
And most of the time I don't come back with them because it's very hard to find here, apparently.
Do you think you could get me the paddle that goes in here?
Yes.
Thank you. I have, yes, I have the butter in with the sugar. We're going to beat that up till it's nice and light and fluffy. The best thing about this is that it's a recipe that you don't need eggs for. So if you don't have eggs on hand, don't worry, you can still make lovely cookies.
That's awesome.
That's right. We're going to beat this up until it's nice and fluffy. So this has the 2 kinds of sugar, 1/4 cup each, and also 3/4 of a cup of butter.
Cool.
So
and no salt because our butter was salted today.
That's right.
Otherwise, you're gonna add what, 1/4 teaspoon?
Yeah, 1/4 teaspoon
of
salt. Yes.
Okay. Let's go.
So we have the butter all nice and creamy
and fluffy.
Yes.
Can I show it to them so
Sure,
they know what
you
we're
can.
talking about?
Yes.
You keep talking, Mommy.
All nice and creamy.
You keep talking.
And next we're going to add the 1.5 cups
This
of
is
all-purpose flour.
Yes. Now this is all light and fluffy. This is what we mean. It's turned a much lighter color, and it's actually kind of fluffy. Okay, very smooth and creamy.
Right. So we're going to incorporate the flour.
How much flour is that?
1.5 cups.
1.5 cups. Okay.
I'm going to put 1/3 of it in at a time,
These are going to be so yummy.
or thereabouts. Yes, they're really good. And
So you're putting like half or a third.
third.
Yeah. What's the liquid in this?
There is really no liquid.
Really?
No. Maybe a few drops of water.
That's pretty cool. These are like no muss, no fuss cookies almost.
The last third. The flour.
These are pretty fast too if we weren't talking for the whole thing.
Yes.
Okay, can I take this bowl from you?
You can.
Awesome.
I'm going to put maybe 3 or 4 drops of water in there, and that's all. That's all.
That's it.
That's the last of the flour that's being incorporated.
You want to start the machine on low first when you add the dry ingredients, because if you go turn on, if you're a newbie, you're going to be sorry you did that because it's going to go in the air and you're going to be like, wow, I really wish I knew that before I started.
Especially if you have a powerful machine like this one, it is really strong.
It has horsepower.
I use it for mixing bread.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So you turn it on low first, and then you can work it the way up. And once the flour gets a little bit more incorporated.
Right. Okay. It looks a little like oatmeal right now.
Yeah, like crumbs.
And you're gonna think this is never going to work.
Now you're gonna stir these in, right?
Yes, I'm going to stir these in. These are the chopped up
Chocolate chips. So that's a 1/4 cup.
That's a 1/4 cup. And then after they're sort of mixed in, I'm going to put the maraschino cherries in because I've really dried them off as much as I could with a paper towel so that you don't get pink juice in there. Although that wouldn't matter, it would look kind of pretty. But
That wasn't what you were going for.
no,
Pink
it
one.
wasn't what I was going for. I just wanted a few flecks of red in there for Valentine.
For Valentine. So you don't have to put these in. You can use the candied or the maraschino.
Or you can do it without the chocolate at all.
Yeah, with just the maraschino, I'm sure they would be really tasty that way. You could even put nuts in these.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You could.
What kind of nuts would you suggest?
I would use pecans.
You would use pecans?
Mhm.
Now, for Valentine's Day, don't forget aphrodisiacs. If we're
Yes.
talking about aphrodisiacs,
Yes.
we're talking about almonds.
Almonds.
And we're talking about hazelnuts because they have a high amount of boron.
And what about
boron's good.
pistachios?
I'm not sure.
Oh,
I didn't
thought
see
they
that.
were- I thought they were a little bit that way.
Maybe they are. I think pistachios are just tasty and
Yeah, they're a really
they're
tasty
a rich sort of nut.
Mhm.
You know.
nut. I don't
Yes.
like to lose anything when I'm baking people.
So scrape your beater
I
off.
scrape every little bit off that I can get.
Let me take
I
your
hate the
towel
idea
from you.
Yes, thank
Okay.
you. Just going to mix this in. And now the maraschino cherries, I'm just going to stir them in. I don't want to use the machine for them because I don't want them to get crushed.
Mommy.
I want nice little pieces.
This was really good.
I know, it's very good.
I love getting the beater after. Don't act like you guys don't do this, please. Spare me.
Now, when I measured out the flour, I kept a little extra flour just for when I'm mixing the dough on the pastry sheet, just in case I need it.
Okay. I'm gonna get your pastry sheet ready. These
Okay.
are tasty. Mom makes the best shortbread. You know what else? You could also put vanilla in there and let that be your liquid
You could do
if
that.
you wanted that flavor, but I kind of prefer my shortbread without the vanilla because I think we put vanilla in everything.
We do.
Like
we
all
use
kind,
way
every
more.
baking almost.
Actually, when they call for vanilla, I usually only use half of what they call for because sometimes it's just too much, and we have some high quality vanilla.
Yes.
So it's really intense, and you don't need as much as what most recipes call for.
This is correct. We got blessed with me bringing back some really great vanilla from Mexico.
Yes,
And then we have some really great stuff from Epicureal.
that's
The
right.
pure bourbon vanilla.
Yeah, that was really, really good vanilla. Okay, we're gonna just dump this onto the sheet.
Okay, I'm gonna move this sheet closer. How about that?
Mhm.
That looks so nice. And you could even do these for Christmas.
Oh,
'Cause,
you
you know,
could,
with the
sure.
red.
You could use red and green cherries.
And you know what? For Easter or something like that, you could use like mini M&Ms
Mhm.
and mini Smarties and things that
Oh,
they
yes,
have.
yeah.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Or the little decorations you get in the little vials.
True
for
story.
Christmas.
And just mix them in. That'd be nice with a nice little crunch, no?
Mm-hmm. Be lovely. A lot of this is stuck to the stainless steel bowl, so I'm just recovering as much as I can.
Your pastry sheet wants to curl.
Oh, I know, but isn't it be a stinker?
Mhm.
Somebody should invent one with weights on each end to keep them from
That is
rolling
a
up.
super idea. Wow, Mom. Mom's
Super
brainstorming
idea.
today.
Okay, now we're going to give this a good pressing.
Can I move this?
Keep it together. I might need that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good thing I didn't lick it.
We're gonna try to keep it together as much as we can.
Who doesn't love it when their mom makes cookies, really?
Yeah.
Belligerent.
So what we're gonna do is just cool this off for a few minutes after I've got it all stuck together here.
After it's been all whipped up and
Yes.
heated up a bit, and then
Gonna
your
cool
hands give a little bit too. You want
Yeah.
to keep that butter nice and
Cool.
solid-ish.
So that when it bakes, you get these little bits of butter in the dough that then melt in the oven, and it's so good.
That makes everything flaky and crispy.
Awesome.
Mmm.
Now as you work it, you'll see how nicely it starts to stick together.
It does start to, it's smooth. Just that little bit of heat from your hands helps
Right.
it mold together. And then you want it to just solidify a bit.
Right.
Now you don't have to put this in the fridge though.
I think we will today.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think we'll put it in the refrigerator for a
So you
little
need
bit.
some plastic wrap.
Plastic wrap, and into the refrigerator it
You
goes.
know, I'm really impressed with this Compliments brand plastic wrap. Make sure you
It's
check
good.
out, make sure you check out our review on this stuff because it's surprisingly good for a no-name brand. Do you know what I mean?
I know.
Super good, and their
It's got
foil
a nice
is too.
cutter. It's got a nice
Yeah,
cutter on
yes,
it.
and their foil as well. I really quite like it. See, I like it because even though it's the quote-unquote, cheapy brand, It's nice and thick. Your pastry sheet doesn't want to cooperate. It's nice and thick, and it's easy to use.
That's right.
To handle it.
That's right. Just going to get this a little bit in here.
Don't waste anything.
No, we won't. There we go.
Awesome.
Into the refrigerator it'll go.
I'm gonna show you what it looks like because they didn't see it. So that's basically what it looks like on the bottom. It looks like the same thing on the top. So you have these beautiful little red flecks and these nice little chocolate chunky chippy things. Oh, it's gonna be so lovely. So how long?
15 minutes or so. Just enough to cool it back down.
So I'm gonna set the timer.
Okay.
We'll see you back.
We'll see you back in a few minutes.
All right, we're back. It's been 15 minutes, right? I was just sitting there by itself. Okay, so Mom has her pastry sheet down, and she's just gonna roll it out. Ever so gently at first.
Ever so gently, and it might fall apart a little bit. You might have to just glue it together as you're going along, but for the most part, it should be okay.
And don't worry, because as it warms up a little bit, it will come back and stick together much better.
Don't forget, you've got those chocolate chips in there, so they're a little bit bumpy, which makes them grind along a little bit when you're putting the rolling pin on it.
Make sure you put just a little bit of bench flour on your rolling pin just to keep it from sticking, and underneath your batch of dough here if you need to.
See what I'm doing? I'm just fixing up the edges here. I want to roll this out to just over a quarter of an inch, or just under half an inch.
Okay. Did we find a heart cookie cutter?
Yeah, you know, I can't find one, but I have some other pretty ones.
That's okay.
If you have them, they're great. The Valentine cutters. I forget where I get them actually.
I'm sure we have some.
However, these are pretty too.
Absolutely.
These little scalloped edges.
Absolutely. It looks so pretty. I want to like pick it up and show them almost. Let me just move it for them to see. I love how these little chunks have stained the cookie. I love the pink bits. I love that. Isn't it pretty? And it gives a little bit more character. I see what you mean about the big giant chips. You do want to cut those down. You could even throw them in your food processor for like a minute.
Yes.
Like, not a
well,
minute,
I
but a
chop
second.
With a sharp knife.
Or you could use them, you know, one of these. A mezzaluna.
Yes,
do it like that.
Works real well. Just take your time. Don't rush it.
Be patient. It's a food of love.
It is that. That's for sure. Especially when you're doing things for your children or your husband. Something special. I wish I had my husband to cook for. I miss him. He loved it when I would bake things for him.
He just loved anything sweet. Any kind of snack.
He loved anything that I made for him. Never complained.
No.
When we were first married, there were a few things he didn't like, but over the years, he got to like them.
Except beet juice.
Beet juice.
Boy.
Okay, I
Dad
think
would not eat beet juice.
No, he wouldn't. He was so offended.
I don't know. And I don't know why.
Why were we trying to get him to drink beet juice?
Well, Dad had cancer.
Yes.
And they had given him a couple months to live. And we were doing a whole bunch of anything we could think of to, you know, boost up his diet. And beets have such a high amount of antioxidants in them. They're so good anti-cancer properties. Yes. And so I was juicing, making a juice for him. And I had beets and I put beets in, and he was like really mad at me. He didn't want those beets, that beet juice in there at all for any reason. He refused to drink my juice. It's okay.
He did not like that, Kim.
I don't know why, what it was about either.
Put that aside. There we go.
So you want to make sure that you dip your cookie cutter in some flour before you start, because that's going to keep it from sticking.
The reason that it doesn't want to come out is because the chocolate chips
got stuck and wedged in there. Mom,
yeah.
I want to eat it just like that, because you know what? And I'm going to eat one of these.
Oh,
no, just
one
use
of the
scraps.
pieces.
Just use scraps, because this is my favorite way to eat cookies. I have to admit, everyone's going to look at me crazy, but I like the dough better than the cookies most of the time.
I know you're a little scamp that way.
Mom,
You've
likes,
always been that way.
Mom likes to yell at me and act like she's really mad that I'm stealing it, but she, you know, it's our
Well,
routine.
by the time I'm ready to put the cookies on the cookie sheet, there are only half the cookies left.
That's the way I like them. You like them baked, I like them like this. You know?
Oh dear.
That's good dough. Those are going to be good cookies. Now you need some cookie sheets.
I have a sheet right here ready.
Now you have a silicone baking sheet on that to keep it from sticking to the bottom. Those things come in handy for all kinds of things.
Oh, it didn't even fall apart. Praise the Lord.
My hands are in here. Sorry. Okay, so we're gonna finish cutting all these out. You're gonna take the scraps, you're gonna re-roll them out again until you have no more dough left, okay? Make as many cookies as you can. Don't waste anything.
No.
Unless you like eating the scraps like me, and then you have none left.
We might have 6 or 7 cookies by the time Kim's done.
We'll be right back. So when you arrange them on the cookie sheet, you want them just a couple inches apart from each other. They're not gonna spread out like chocolate chip cookies would, right?
Yeah. But they will spread out a little bit.
These look awesome. I'm so excited. And the tray's gonna be beautiful. So, are we preheating our oven?
Yes, we're going to preheat it to 350.
Okay.
And then as soon as we put the cookies in, we're going to turn it down to 300.
Okay. You want to be as careful as you can with your dough because this is a really little bit crumbly and you want it to be like that because you want it to be flaky when it's done, right?
Actually, the recipe that I use is intended originally to be put into a pie plate.
Really?
All in one big chunk, and then before you bake it, you cut it into wedges.
Well, that's cool.
Yes.
You've never done that, but
No,
I've never seen
I
you
like
do that.
I like things that are little that you can just grab and have a little snack. But those
who wouldn't want a
pieces
wedge
are-
of shortbread? Like
I know
cornbread.
you would like it. I know
Big
you
chunk
would
of
like it. Kim.
Man, I love some shortbread. That's like my favorite, well, not my favorite Christmas treat. My favorite Christmas treat is the raspberry bars. Make sure you check out
you
that
like those.
that recipe. It's raspberry squares or raspberry bars, I can't
Raspberry
remember.
bars.
Really? They are
Yeah, very good.
unbelievably tasty. But your mom's shortbread, that's Christmas.
Well, Aunt Mary's shortbread is awesome.
It
too.
is awesome. But see, she does it nice and thick like you were just saying. She puts it in a square baking dish.
Yes.
And she cuts it into squares, just square, like
just
real
squares.
squares, like cubes. So you get a cube of
Oh, half an inch
shortbread.
thick.
Oh,
half an inch thick. They're
come
very
on.
wonderful.
They are beyond wonderful.
Yes, Aunt Mary makes great. I come from a family that really is into cooking.
Makes good stuff.
Yes.
Everywhere we go for a family thing, it's always tasty
Oh,
things
my
going
sisters, most of my sisters have been wonderful cooks and bakers.
on. Aunt Rose was a real baker.
Oh, she was.
And cook. She was a great
Yes,
cook.
she was a very good cook.
That's good stuff. Okay, so Mom's recollecting all the scraps, rolling it all back up, and we're gonna reform them. And we're gonna finish these up. We're just waiting for our oven to preheat.
Yes. Aren't they pretty?
Look at how beautiful.
Just perfect for Valentine's
Smile right above,
Day.
Mommy. Yummy.
Perfect for Valentine's Day. Perfect for someone.
Okay,
you love.
Mom just finished cutting them out. Now we have this already arranged. Our oven is preheated to 350, and Mom has some extra cookies, but we're gonna wait till we get the Silpat back.
As soon as
for the
we
next
close
batch.
the oven, we're going to turn the heat down to 300, and we're going to bake them for 8 to 12 minutes. I'll check them at 8 minutes and see how they look. Because every time that you make them, they might be a little thicker, they might be a little thinner, so you have to adjust for the time. So when they just barely turn golden around the edges, that's when you want to take them out.
Awesome. So they're in there. I put the timer on for 8
Awesome.
minutes, and it's turned down to 300.
Perfect.
Awesome. So we'll see you in like 10 minutes. Okay, they're done. Now, this took the whole 12 minutes. We checked
Yes.
them at 8, we checked them at 10, and they went to full 12. And it just depends on your day and
Right.
exactly your ingredients mixture and the atmosphere and everything. So today it's 12 minutes, and that's cool.
Right.
May I
And
have this?
Before you remove them from the platter, though, they have to sit to cool at least 2 minutes, 2 or 3 minutes, because they're liable to fall apart if you just now take them off hot.
Yes.
They have to have a chance to set.
Now they look very flaky and fluffy. They look almost the same as they did when they go in, and that's kind of what you want with shortbread. You want it to you don't want to really bake it brown. No. Just so we're gonna leave it for 5 minutes, and then we're gonna transfer it to a cooling rack, and then we're gonna get these other cookies on and in. So I'm gonna up the temperature again to 350.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, they smell heavenly.
I can't wait to eat one. Okay, so they're ready to transfer. They're just hard enough, hardened enough. You can do them ever so gently, either with your hands or with a transferring spatula.
Yes, these things are handy for that.
But see, I have asbestos fingers and I can't really feel how hot that is because it just came out of the oven. But, and it's the fastest thing for me. Plus, I feel like if I'm using this spatula, I have more of a chance of breaking them because I can't feel what's going on. You know what I mean? Oh, they look so awesome and all confetti looking.
They are very pretty.
They're very chocolate is also an aphrodisiac.
Yes, it is.
Did you know that?
Yes, it is.
Awesome. So next things next, we're gonna put these on, transfer them ever so gently. Your oven just came to its heat at 350 degrees. As soon as we put these cookies in again, we're gonna turn it down to 300 again, right? 300?
Yes.
Into the oven they go for another 12 minutes.
Oh, those cherries are good in there. That's 12 years.
Let's
I think
try
we
them.
need to try them.
Okay, I'm gonna try one that, Cheers. We both picked a circle.
Great.
I guess we're not square.
That's lovely.
The little pieces of chocolate are just big enough to give you that little something. And the maraschino cherries.
I find that a lot of recipes that call for chocolate chips have way too many chocolate chips.
I agree. But I hate it when they're skimpy. Like, I don't want 2 in my whole cookie.
No, but some cookies, they just overdo it.
I agree. These are awesome. Look at that. And the maraschino cherries I like better, I think, than the candied ones. In there.
That's really good. Very good. I hope you try the recipe and enjoy your Valentine's Day.
Valentine's treats for
Do this for
Valentine.
your people you love. Make a surprise for
It's a nice little treat.
Happy Valentine's, Mom.
Happy Valentine's, baby.
So make sure you check out Mom's website at ingridturnertoday.com. Follow me on Twitter at cookingwithkime with a capital E. Like the fan page at facebook.com/cookingwithkimberly. My show is on ifood.tv/cookingwithkimberly and youtube.com/cookingwithkimberly. And my site is cookingwithkimberly.com. That's it. That's all. Eat these. You're going to love them.
You're going to love them.
Be a champion in your kitchen and eat deliciously. Bye.